All right, everyone, I'm out here in Las Vegas live. This is Club His Hop Radio right here coming out of Las Vegas. We are getting ready. I want to invite you. Now, I am right here this evening. We're getting ready to bring someone live on in a few minutes. As soon as the show starts, we're talking about forgiveness, divorce, losing parents, and still being inspirational enough to make the country charts. Okay, we're doing some exciting stuff right here. I'm inviting some of you to get on board with us right now. Go and share this. Okay, so Alan, share it. I see you've just joined us. Michael Smith, you just joined us. Go ahead and share this with your community. Shaylin Boyd, go ahead and share this. Alan Black, I want to see you sharing this. Come on now, you guys, get out there and share. The more we reach, the more we get to inspire tonight, and all of us are a part of that. Alicia, thank you for joining us, okay? Those of you that are out here in Facebook world, go ahead and tune in right now. Get ready to call in because we want to hear your story tonight. Write down the number 775-964-8764. Go ahead and share with everyone in your Facebook feeds. Get this going this evening, you guys. We got a guest tonight who's going to be sharing with us some of her successes, her hurts, her betrayal. It's getting excited. It's getting heated in here. Club His Hop Las Vegas. Okay, if you haven't downloaded our app yet, please go and do that. We have a exciting contest coming right now. So any of those hip hop Christian artists, those inspirational artists in your life, let them know they can actually join a contest and set themselves up to be in alignment for a label to possibly pick them up. Someone might hear their music and want to endorse them. We're actually raising some money on Giving Tuesday. We have a house party, you guys, right here in Vegas coming up. So we'll be talking about all of that tonight on the show. Super excited to be here. Whatever's been holding you back today, just know that it has, because tonight you were supposed to be here watching this. Okay, so go ahead, everybody. Go off and get to sharing. Chanel Streets. That's my friend from high school. Hey, Linda. Go off and share it. Derek, thank you for joining us. Bailey, please go off and share. Share this with, you don't want to miss this one. Tonight is going to be a real good one. We always have good nights on here, guys, but tonight's really going to be a good night. I'm looking forward to see whatever God is going to do through Lisa and the crew right here coming out of Las Vegas. Good things come out of Las Vegas, guys. Crystal Ball. Hey, Crystal. I missed you. Eric. What's up, Eric? Go and join. Tonight's going to be a good one. Share it, Princess. You guys go and share for us. We'll
would have made it. Never could have made it without you. I would have lost it all. But now I see how you were there for me.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Keith Gardner in the house. Tia Ross in the house. Sam Stewart in the house. Yay. We right here coming out of Las Vegas. His Hop Radio, Club His Hop Las Vegas. You are on the Whatever It Takes show this evening. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m., you can join Keith and I right here out of Las Vegas live. We're talking about doing whatever it takes to succeed. And tonight's a big open conversation. We're going to bring on a very, very special guest. We're super honored to have this person on with us tonight. Get your phones ready to dial in at 775 if you'd like to join us. 775-964-8764. Got some juicy conversations. You can talk to our guest tonight. You can ask her questions. We're going to watch some of her videos, just 2, although she has a lot of them. We're only going to see 2 of them this evening. Hopefully you'll go off and support her and become one of her newest fans after this evening. So Keith, I'm going to bring you on in as well, chiming in. I'd like to get us started tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit tonight about forgiveness. And it's funny because I actually had an incident that happened to me today. So that I had to dig deep and ask God and not react immediately. Although internally I wanted to just revert back to street days and just go off, right? But I didn't. Through the grace of God, I held it, and because it's a family member of mine. And so having to, love our family regardless of how we feel and things that happen requires God's forgiveness and God's grace and his mercy in our life. And so, having to forgive and still love and be involved in someone's life, even when it's a family member. So tonight we're going to be talking about forgiveness. Those of you that don't know a lot about Keith's story, Keith and I are #1 best-selling authors. Keith wrote a book called I Never Would Have Made It, thank you, without you. And that book is a life story about tragedies that have happened in Keith's life. And through his tragedies, the people, family members, friends that God put in his path along the way to get him through those rough times. And tonight we're going to be talking about some of them because our guest actually just recently this year in the summer lost her mom. Keith also shares in his book how he lost his mom. And then we have one more thing in common, well, 2 actually, with the guest that's coming on this evening. The guest that's coming on has dealt with divorce. She actually was married before and divorced, and then 10 years later got remarried. Okay, same thing with Keith and I. We were both married at one time, divorced. Now God placed us in each other's life, and we having to work through those things together. This is real talk, doing whatever it takes to succeed. I love what our guest is doing in the world. She is living regardless and not turning back, Keith. Talk to us, Keith. Come on, talk to our audience tonight. What you got to say about this topic?
When we're talking about forgiveness. I mean, we all made mistakes. We all made some poor choices. But I tell people, I thank God I'm living. When I tell a person, if I could forgive a person who killed my cousin, who shot up my other cousin, who shot me in the head, and I still can give another person forgiveness for that situation, come on, man, most people won't do that. A lot of people gonna look for retaliation. So when that situation happened with me, when I found out I was shot in the head, a lot of people in my family was out to kill. I told, man, I'm not looking for it. I just thank God for giving me another opportunity to live. So I mean, sometimes that's what we need to do. Think about forgiveness, man, because we always continue holding grudges. I've been there. I know how it feels. Trust me, on and off the field. And when we're talking about forgiveness, man, I don't care if it's even sometime in your own people, your own family hurts you, upsets you sometime, but you have to think back, like, let me slow down, God is watching, we all made mistakes, man. We all made some poor choices, some bad decisions in our lives, man. And like I said, I just thank God every day for giving me another opportunity. So I'm not, like I said, we all gonna make mistakes, and, just pray to God that we can, forgive, man. Forgive.
Yes.
It's very important.
Yes. Wow. So those of you that are listening this evening, I want you to be thinking about those trials and tribulations that you've gone through when it comes to forgiveness, divorce, addictions, death, grief, losing family members, all on tonight's show. And what's so beautiful about it is that we're wrapping it around still being able to sing and give God glory. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's like some major forgiveness and a muscle that God has to definitely build inside of us. This next young lady that we're going to bring on live right now with us, she shared something this evening. Didn't even realize she was sharing it when we were talking. And she said, the one thing that we have in common, she said, is God's grace. So those of you that are watching, we right here on Club His Hop, Las Vegas, we are launching a huge contest where we have been bringing together two worlds of genre: country, Christian, country music, hip hop, inspirational hip hop Christian music, all to set forth a vision that God placed inside of Sam years ago that said, let's put a force of positivity through music and using Christ as the foundation. And so we launched this together, Chris Miller, Legacy Shifters, right? Club His Hop, all of us pulling together, whatever it takes to pull two genres together and different worlds coming together for good. We'll be launching that December 3rd on Giving Tuesday. So those of you that are watching, we're on a series right now where we are featuring artists that actually have labels and are successful, and we're promoting what they have going on, putting this positivity into the world, and at the same time talking about some deep, serious conversations. So tonight you're going to hear from Keith, myself, Sam may join us. Those of you that are watching, 775-964-8764. We love to hear from you. Call in, talk to our guests. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in our guest. I get to introduce this beautiful lady. Some of you saw us posting today on our Facebook page, Miss Lisa Daggs. Now, let me tell you, she said something today, this evening. She said, we all have something in common, and that's God's grace. And that's what we truly have in common. Tonight, everyone's story is important. And we get to honor and uplift and acknowledge our sister Lisa this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Miss Lisa, and as she unmutes herself and joins us, I want to share a few things with you. We're going to start with what's happening right now tonight in her life. So she checked the charts tonight before we got on. Country Music Weekly. She's number 7, you guys. She is actually ranking number 7. Number 8, Carrie. This is our country music. Those of you listening right
Carrie
now.
Underwood.
Carrie
right?
Underwood is number 8. Now, Miss Lisa's number 7, and that's happening right now. This is her most current thing that's right now tonight. I wanted to start with that because we're going to start going back and looking at some of the things that she's accomplished, some of the hardships that she has endured, and yet she still stands and sings and brings joy to this earth through pain.
Right there by that
Come
cute
on
boy
now.
right there that I see. That's my husband.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everybody. Hey, Tia. What's up, girl?
Hey, thank you for
This is
joining
fun. Thank you for
us.
having me.
Oh,
Thank you for having me. What I'm seeing right now, which I hope everyone is seeing on the same time frame and timeline that I am, is the book No Turning Back. Is that what you're seeing?
That's right. No
now?
turning back.
Okay. This is a book, everybody that's listening in. I want to encourage you. This is a book that was slated to release about 12 years ago. And I was writing a book. I had, with a ghostwriter, had chapters 1, 2, 4 done. And we had summaries of all the other chapters. We had 21 chapters ready to go to pitch it to the publishing companies. And I found out that what I was writing wasn't the truth in my marriage. My daughter was 8, and I was shocked by what I had observed on my husband at the time, my baby daddy. Here's my husband, everybody. I met him at church, and had a church wedding, and we were, pure as we could be before we got married and everything. And I mean, with each other, because our lifestyle before was different. But when we came to Christ, we tried to live Christ-like, And so it totally caught me by surprise. I say surprises come like a kiss on the cheek or a smack upside the head, and I didn't see this one coming. And so when I was able to see what was going on his computer, and there's like It was just, I don't want to trash him, but it was such a shock to me, and he didn't deny it. And it's not something with 40 other females, it's not something that, unless you're going to stop, that a marriage can sustain, you know.
Right.
Just, you know, it just was, it floored me. It
Right.
floored me. I lost probably 15 pounds. I was just completely, I felt like I was flattened, you know, devastated is right. But my daughter was 8, and she was going to Christian school. And so, you know what us mamas do, we suck up our pain so our babies don't see that, and we can be a good mama. And then my mom stroked down on my kitchen floor, and the husband throws the keys back to me to our motorhome that we traveled full-time ministry together in. And I was left with $4,200 to pay every month, and my mom's at my house, and well, first she was in rehab for 6 months, and the stroke is what brought on the vascular dementia. And we had moved back, not this one here, that's 2 years, and we are happy. What you see there is real. This man has never tasted this man has never tasted drugs or alcohol, any illicit drugs, never a sip of beer or wine, never smoked a cigarette, and he's a licensed minister and my biggest cheerleader and support to me in my life. That's Ronnie Horton, and his great uncle is Johnny Horton. I don't know if you remember, in 1814 we took a little trip. Remember that song? Or north to Alaska. That was his uncle, great uncle. But no turning back. When I called Gloria Gaither, you may know Gloria. Andre Crouch was Andre Crouch was in the group, and Dixon was it? Jesse Dixon and Babby Mason, and I met Babby and Baby, and and Cece, and you know, just a bunch of, old-time gospel singers. I've been blessed. I was singing with Bill and Gloria for a long time. And Gloria, back then, 12 years ago, is the one that suggested I write this book. She hooked me up with a Christian agent, and I had to call him and say, you know, I think my life's over. And I called Gloria, absolutely snot-faced, when I found out what was going on. And said, you know, there's just nothing left for me. I'm a female in ministry. I'm getting a divorce. I think I'm losing the house. What I was writing about is not truth. I found out some other things, and I'm going to lose my marriage. My daughter's 8, you know, let alone this book. There's no book. I mean, I've been working on this. And she said, Lisa, your life is not over. Your story is not finished yet. I said, Gloria, Gaither, everything feels finished. She said, your story is not finished yet. Mm. And Tia, for 10 years, you know, I had to move 4 times in 5 years. I lost the house. We had a studio in the back, brand new studio, and I kept transferring that transposed book, you know, the one that we had, the 1, 2, 4, and just all the work we had done.
Right.
Every year. January 1 into my ministry file, and it just was like a big old boom on the bottom of the file cabinet. You know, 10, 12 years later, whatever it was, 2018, I ended up, there was a lot of things that went on in between there, but 2018, I stayed single for 10, 11 years. I won Entertainer of the Year on the Grand Ole Opry stage for inspirational country music. And when I got back home to Sacramento, California, is where I live right now, lived in Nashville twice. We'll probably go there a third time, and it'll be our final time. Get out of California. But there was a message from the same book agent that I started with.
Well,
the 12 years earlier, and the message was just, hey, Lisa, it's Greg.
Yes.
I'm ready to talk about a book when you are.
Come on now. I want to jump in real quick.
I've been following you for a year.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, good. I want to jump in just real quick because some of our listeners, you're listening right now, and something that Sherry, I'm thinking about Sherry Gaither. and that who I love. So I want to stop right now. Those of you that are watching, we've said a lot so far. You've heard Lisa so far. She shared a lot, and some things may be coming up for some of you at home. We have a very interactive audience. I want you to know you can call in 775
Please do.
964 8764. If you have a question for Lisa, I want you to feel free, Keith or myself, go ahead and call in. You know what, Lisa, as you were talking right now, I was thinking about your song, and we're going to get ready to play one of these videos and songs. You know, I was thinking about forgiveness, is a powerful thing. So you wrote a song, forgiveness is a powerful thing. And all that you just said, somewhere in your life you had to get to a point where you started to let go and forgive and to let go so that you can step into who you are right now. And sometimes coming through that pain could be a lot. Tell us a little bit about this song, and then we're going to cue it up, and audience after this video will come back. Okay, tell us a little bit about
audience,
this.
call in with this. I'll tell you, the first part of forgiveness was I really young, and I had accepted the Lord. But I, unfortunately, as a lot of us do, I felt like He wasn't moving fast enough in my life, as I got into junior high and high school and, college. And I thought, I was singing up at Tahoe. I went to Nashville for a while, and I thought, just wait till I get there. I'm going to be a big star. And I was actively drinking and using. I was. I'll just put it out there, man. I was smoking pot. I was taking pills. Cocaine was my choice of drug. I was drinking every day. And I couldn't understand why my dreams weren't coming true, when I moved to Nashville. So after about 5 years of living there, I came back to Sacramento, but nothing changed,
Wow.
I did a geographical change, a geographical move. And so I brought all of me with me.
Wow. Well, we're excited.
Within 3 months, I got my first arrest.
Wow, we're excited and thankful that you stayed with us and that you didn't give up, and that those hard times actually inspire what can touch others who are watching right now. So we're going to listen to this video, your music, and then we're going to bring you right back on. Audience, be ready to join this conversation.
Forgiveness is a powerful thing. Walls they built between them, pride before the fall, words left there unspoken. One powerful thing. It heals the wounds, it washes clean. All the bitterness and anger, emptiness and pain, a flood of tears that melts away. The hurt that separates us from mercy, love, and grace, and the hope that only you can bring. Yeah, forgiveness is a powerful thing. Oh, forgiveness is a powerful thing. A powerful thing. Yeah, forgiveness is a powerful thing. A powerful thing.
Wow. Come on now, Lisa. Forgiveness is a powerful thing. Okay, forgiveness
Oh,
is a
yeah.
powerful thing. Releasing, even when it hurts, being able to give inspiration and lift others up regardless. And that is another commonality that we have. Our show is called Whatever It Takes. Keith actually named this show because at one time, Lisa, an audience you may not know, Keith was headed to the NFL. Really great football player, was at home from New Orleans, third year in college, just hanging out at a sports bar with his cousins, spring break, third year college home, came out in random gunfire, killed one, took another one, his arm out, and then Keith actually went into a 15-day coma, and they did not think he was going to make it. And him having to bounce back, some of the things that he remembers was the love that he had for football. And his coaches would always use the terminology, and you still hear it today, it's football season, whatever it takes. I mean, I watch Stephen A. Smith with Keith and things in the morning, and I still hear that, doing whatever it takes to succeed. You have a saying that talks about regardless, not turning back, regardless, not giving up, regardless of what you go through, still giving God the glory and still waking up with a smile. Talk to us about regardless.
Well, I was I wanted to let the people know that I had up to that $1,000 a day rock cocaine habit, and I was facing 3 to 5, and there's no other reason but God's grace that I didn't go to prison. It was truly His grace. But regardless dropped into my heart when I was at the end. It's like my husband had moved out. I told you my mom had stroked out. She was with me for 8 months, and she didn't know how to talk or walk or whatever, so we had therapy coming in, and my daughter was 8, and I was getting her to Christian school, and I didn't have any more income because I had 2 babies, and I just walked into the living room one day, and I wasn't mad at God. One thing that happens when we get at the lowest of the low, when we are a Christian, it seems like you get so desperate for God that all I really wanted was worship music going and the Word. I wanted to get in the Word, and I wanted worship music. And so like I said, I wasn't mad. I didn't blame God for what had happened. I just said, you foreknew. I went through a divorce when I was 10, my parents, and you foreknew that was one of the scariest things in my life. But, Lord, I'm going to trust you. And as in the living room, and so much had been taken, that's a whole other story. He pulled up a U-Haul and emptied the house of a lot of stuff. And I just said, no matter how I'm overlooked, Lord, no matter what terrain I have to cross, I'm going to serve. And there's no turning back, regardless.
Yes.
I mean, what else will I do here? I'm going to follow you. I trust you. I don't understand this whole mess, but help me.
Wow.
I can people. When you're at that point, you have 2 choices. I say this often in concert, you can shrink back in that corner and you can shrivel up and die, or you can get up and make a difference, and you can finish the race.
That's
And
right.
if you shrink back in that corner and you die, then the evil one, the devil, Satan, he wins because all he wants to do is to steal, kill, destroy, or even
That's right.
make you ineffective.
That's right. Now,
Then he
now let
wins.
me tell you this. Keith, he's at that point. This reminds me of Keith's story when he often tells us, babe, when you talk about, the minute that those doctors told you could no longer play football. That was your time. When you were at that low one of the times. I mean, you've lost mom to
We've had a
suicide.
few, huh?
Yeah, he's had a few. He's lost mom to suicide.
Haven't we all?
And just those times where you had to do whatever it takes regardless.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we all gonna go through some adversity in life, but you just have to find who your true friends are sometimes too when you're going through some adversity. So, cause when everything is good, everybody's with you. But when you go through some tough time, I mean, that's when you really, 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 you find out who your really true friends are. When you down and out, when you back against the wall, you going through some storm, you went through some adversity, you feeling like you don't have nothing to live for, you're ready to give up, but it's a blessing when you got somebody on your side, and I always feel like God is trying to tell me something. I know I went through some storms. I know some things I feel I wasn't living right, but God blessed me and gave me another opportunity, another chance. And that's why my dream, I just want to do whatever it takes to help other people. Like people always say, oh, you wasn't going to make it to the NFL. Well, I told you, if you think I wasn't good enough to go, I'll go play ball to the Canadian ball. I didn't care. I just want to get some finance to help my family. And also, I love playing sports. That was just my dream. But you're going to always have some haters going against you. I don't care who it is. It's sad, but that's life. I mean, even though your own family sometimes can go against you, but I like when, the negative thing. That just that's my motivation. That's always something to motivate me. I don't care who it is. I don't care what you do, whatever you say negative about me, it's gonna make me explode. I love it. That's like I said, that's my motivation, but I'm always gonna try to encourage and inspire someone, because I tell other people, you never know what someone is going through. You think you might be going through something, but there's somebody is might be worse than you, So I just want to try to do whatever it takes to put a smile in somebody's face. But I mean, there's some we're gonna go through some storms. It's gonna be some times we think we can't make it, and that's why it's good to have somebody who can be on your side and push you and help you and do whatever it takes.
That's right. That's right. Those of you that are watching right now, go ahead and you can comment in our Facebook page. We can see what you are saying. I like to say hi to Goldie. I know this story is touching your heart, right? John, Perry, Carlisa.
Goldie, as in Goldilocks?
That's right, Goldie Reeves. She
I
actually.
know Gold. Hey, Goldie.
Hey, Goldie. Okay,
She's
so.
a sweetheart.
Yeah, now here's something exciting that I want to share with the audience, those of you listening. So, Lisa actually received New Artist of the Year. She's received the Entertainment of the Year, and then she's also received an award. Listen to this: an Inspirational Country Music Award at the Grand Ole Opry. Tell us about that, Lisa. Come on now.
It was a big night. It was a big night. It was a really big night. I had won several years before at the Ryman Auditorium, and so to have it come back around again was truly a blessing. And especially it was a time around where Well Worn, where I was able to write that with a couple of friends, Chuck Leonard and James Bubba Hudson in Nashville at the CSAC building. We wrote the song for my mom, and it just was quite an honor to win. And then Jason Crabb, who's a friend of mine, because I know from the Gaithers, he was the one presenting that night. He called my name out, and he's like, "Get up here, girl!" And so I'm running across the stage, holding my dress in my heels and running. And he picked me up and swing me around, and it was, and it also, Tia, it was humbling, because here's a girl that was, stuck in addiction and rejection and just all kinds of things, and then turning my heart over to the Lord. I got clean and sober 11/11/89, and rededicated my life to the Lord January 1, 1990, 60 days clean, and I will be celebrating 30 years clean this November 11th. And 9 CDs later, and being able to produce, we've had Andrew Marshall on there, and my husband is a great singer. And yeah, I have my picture up on the Nashville sign. I remember working down at Fridays when I was not sober in Nashville and wanting to be on that sign. And only until we vow, Keith, you were talking about it too, and we've done so much in our life, and you're talking about you embrace the hard times because the storm always comes before the blessing, and so God is so, so good, and he finishes what he starts,
That's it.
It's that he that starts a good work in you is faithful to complete it until the day of Christ Jesus, and my thing now, Keith and Tia, is helping people get off drugs, get off alcohol, emotional downs that they have, or knowing that, if I can get off of what I got off of, and God could do with me what he's done, he is no respecter of persons. He'll do it for you.
That's right.
And even through the death of my mom, which, she was my saint. She was the biggest cheerleader. I'm looking at her, the brochure that we had at her funeral. She's from old school, and she was a reader, and she had prayer meetings in her house and had 40 to 65 young kids in that prayer meeting every Friday night. And I'd be down, at the river at the Kager party, back when I was younger. And she continued to pray. She prayed me back. She was just an angel on earth, truly.
Wow.
You ask people that knew my mom, and she, to lose her was a huge loss recently. Yeah. But she was 93, and she went where she's been living to go all her life,
Wow.
Amazing, beautiful woman.
Those of you that are watching right now, who's your biggest cheerleaders? If they're still living, talk to them, cherish them. You never know what tomorrow brings. And I'm so grateful your mom was able to reach 93. I mean, that's amazing in itself. I want to gear up this next video and song that we're going to play. We just have time to play 2 tonight. Would love to hear more. But those of you that are watching, just go Google this amazing woman on YouTube. I've been listening to it.
Thank you, Tia.
Yes, every time you told me about it, I've been listening to it in my car, listening to some of the songs. And so we chose a couple of songs to play for this evening. And we hope it blesses our guests that are watching right now. We're going to play this next one called Regardless, because it definitely is in alignment with doing whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes
to succeed. All right, audience, we're going to come back on after this. We want to hear from you. Post your comments in here. We hope tonight's show is touching you.
Regardless. This song came to me in a word in 2009, I believe, that I couldn't ignore. I was talking with God, and I didn't understand all the heartbreak that I was going through at the time, even though I truly believed that I was following what he had asked me to do, his call that he asked me to do, several years before. I was a mother, became a single mother of an 8-year-old. My mom's health was failing, and I just couldn't understand. I wasn't mad at God. I just didn't understand. But it seemed to be in that time, I don't know when it happened, it just dropped in my heart, the word regardless. And no matter the circumstances or the hardships that I was enduring, no matter what situation, that I was going to make a choice. And that was going to be to serve and to finish the race. And I wasn't going to turn back regardless.
Go on to Amazon.com, purchase Lisa's book, go on to YouTube and listen to her music and get inspired. Pull yourself out of the darkness of depression and whatever you're sitting in behind. Addictions that seem impossible to get rid of, forgiveness that seems impossible to do. If you're facing a divorce right now, if you're on some type of a drug, or you've recently lost someone. I mean, we've touched on all of that tonight just a little bit. So if you're watching tonight and you're facing any one of those, tonight's show was just for you. I mean, we're celebrating Lisa Daggs and all that she's accomplished and what God has accomplished through her. And I just heard you say, 30 years clean. I mean, that's amazing in itself.
Oh, yeah, jeez. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus. What you said is what he's accomplished through me, because, Keith and Tia, the best I could do on my own was get arrested 4 times and, learn how to smoke coke and get arrested and facing prison time and singing and trying to run the run, and it was bad. I dug my own hole. And the whole thing with the divorce was not my fault. I was a great mom and I was a great wife to my husband and daughter to my mom. But, things come around. But God uses our brokenness. He says he uses the weak to shame the strong. You know why? So we can't boast that we did it. We can say, look at Jesus. Look what he did in my life. And, if you are struggling, get up. Yeah. Get up and finish the race. Whatever it takes, get up. Don't be wallowing in your own pity, self-pity. And you know what? God's got something else for you. And like I said before with Keith, he said he loves those storms when they come along, because you know what? Then comes the blessing. Get yourself up.
Get ready for that blessing.
Make your bed in the morning. Make your bed, get dressed, and get out and go serve somebody, or go to a AA meeting, NA meeting, Celebrate Recovery meeting. Go somewhere where you can get some help. You sit your booty in a chair, and you're going to hear someone else that's chairing a meeting reading your story. You're going to be like, how they get into my journal? You're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
You said something
so God's
key.
Been waiting for you to get up.
That's right, Lisa. You said something so key. Lisa, you said something so key for our listeners, and I had to take heed to this at one point as a practice. I heard someone say, do something for someone else when you're at your lowest. I mean, one of the way, if you are watching right now and you're finding that you're stuck, if you're in a low, come outside of yourself, praise when you don't feel like praising, and go and give to someone. Like, give back to the homeless. Do something, like you said, go to an AA meeting. I mean, volunteer somewhere. Give back when you're at your lowest. I have tried that, Lisa, and I'm telling you, if it does nothing else, it will get that energy of gratitude flowing back through you. Because sometimes,
you are
being in those lows and those funks in life can sometimes, cause us to miss blessings, cause us to not appreciate the things that we have, and not realize that we could be doing worse. And, that's what we don't want to do, is end up being worse off out of being ungrateful when God's trying to show us something. And so that was really good what you shared.
You're right. I think I call it getting out of self, Get out of your self-wallowing pity. And I used to go visit when I was living in Nashville. That's where my daughter was born. Her name's Faith. And I used to go visit Everett and Francis Parker. They were shut-ins, and they had Meals on Wheels, and I'd call him before I came, and he couldn't walk around very well. He had diabetes really bad on his feet, and she had dementia real bad. And I said, Mr. Parker, can I bring you something? He said, I sure like a cheeseburger and some fryers. He meant French fries. I said, okay, anything else? You want a shake, a soda? A chocolate milkshake would be right good. And he had built that house on his own, but you could see outside. It was built very cheaply, but that was a home he built. And, they were so worse off than I was. When I left there, I felt so encouraged and blessed. You're exactly right, Tia. Go serve somebody.
Yeah.
Go to the old folks' home. I get to go sing at the Yountville VA home this Sunday. It's where my dad and my mom are laid to rest.
Wow.
And it's called the Rally. They're having the rally for the military. Now, I don't like war, but I have a hats off, and I salute my war heroes and the ones that are fighting for our freedom. I mean, thank you to all of them. And so I'm going to go, and I'm singing for free, and we're going to go do the rally and honor our veterans. These people are forgotten. I've gave 10 free concerts. Called it the Bob Daggs Birthday Bash, and we'd usually have about 50 veterans there and have a big old cake, and I'd sing to them, and I was so appalled, really, Tia and Keith, that these old people that are at 11:59 in their life don't have any visitors.
Wow.
There
you go.
And I'd go away from there going, you know what? I'm here to love on you. I'm here to love on you. And, a lot of them gave their hearts to the Lord, too. We'd have an altar call. We'd have a salvation prayer. And, it doesn't matter if it's 11:59. Do it earlier. You'll have a better life. But if it's 11:59, you ask God to forgive you of your sins. You get to spend eternity with Him. So serve somebody. You're absolutely right, sis.
Well, I want
Get out of yourself.
I want to go ahead and start just wrapping up this portion before Sam and I start talking about our contest and how people can get involved and all of that.
Don't forget, I got Serenity Records.
Please,
I do produce
Come on
Records.
Now. Come on now. That's it. Now, Lisa's a good example of what you just said, Serenity Records. This is what we're getting ready to start talking about, is this contest that we have going on. You don't know who's going to be watching, who's going to be listening to some of the entries. I mean, people like Lisa, with her actual, ability to produce some of you. You never know what God is going to do and who's going to hear your music. So don't, put anything past God or put God in a box, because you just never know. Lisa, tell our audience where they can, purchase your CDs, your book, find you, reach out to you, talk to you after the show. Talk to our audience about that and guide them on how to get in touch with you.
Thank you, Tia. You can get the book at Amazon.com, or you can go to my website, Think of Fishers of Men, LisaDaggs.net. If you want to find me on any of the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, just put at Lisa Daggs Music. I'll pop up. If you put my name in the search engine, you'll get Wikipedia on there. I have 25,000 on my musicians page. I'd love for you to like and follow that. I have a limit of 5,000, as we all do, on our personal page. But this book, No Turning Back, has 21 chapters, and people, go read some of the reviews on Amazon.com. It's a really fast read. For myself, I'm not much of a reader, and everybody's been saying they have read the book in one day, a day and a half. It's a page turner. It tells you about the down and dirty, and it tells you about the redemption. And it says, no turning back, regardless how God rescued me, redeemed me, and restored my heart with a song. And He really did. He lifted me out even when I was serving Him, and I was clean and sober, and I couldn't understand how He let the greatest fear in my life happen in my marriage. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been serving you. And when I was facing 3 to 5, I did one of those, Tia, and Keith, that we've all done, right? We said, if you get me out of this mess, I promise I'll never do that again. But this time I knew I was walking on thin ice, and I said, dear God in heaven, this time I mean it. I don't want to go to prison, 3 to 5. If you get me out of this mess, I promise you today, I will never quit telling people what you've done for me. And I meant it, and he got me out. And he did set my feet upon a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God, and many have
Yes.
seen and feared and put their trust in the Lord. And that's Psalm
Amen.
41:3. But I would love to listen to their stuff. And if you're going to be submitting your songs, if you're listening, you're going, hey, I got a good song. This is what I suggest you do. Get a gate. If you're writing your own song, make sure there's a nice gate to it that flows, and you get some rhyming. Read a little bit about how to write a song. But more importantly than that, let it be from your heart. And I don't want you to just sing me a song. I want you to tell me a story. So you can reach me at lisadaggs.net, at Lisa Daggs Music. Google me, Lisa Daggs. It'll pop up. You'll probably learn more about me than you ever wanted to. But Serenity
Wonderful.
Records, that's on Facebook. Yes, Songs with a Purpose. They have a contest, house party, December 3rd. Get your writing down.
Come
I love
on
that.
now.
Christian country and rap.
Oh yeah, it's gonna go down right here in Las Vegas on December 3rd. So Sam's gonna
Awesome.
join us now. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us this evening. And I
Hey,
know
thank
that
you, both of you.
yeah, I know this won't be the last that we hear from you, and we look forward to continuing to share your music on our app and our some of our other radio networks that we have here out of Las Vegas. So we thank you. Those of you that are watching right now, do not let this contest go by. Right, Keith and Sam? I mean, this is an opportunity. This is a good example of an artist like Lisa who also has a way to actually produce you. Serenity. You heard that? So
Absolutely.
that's it.
And
So,
then you can look up Ronnie
yeah.
Horton. And
Yep.
look up Ronnie Horton and look up Andrew Marshall.
Come
he was
on.
on your about a week or two ago.
Yeah, he was
they're on
amazing.
Serenity Records as well.
Right.
Yes.
Sam interviewed Andrew Marshall.
Yes, I really enjoyed him, and I'm really impressed. You said you produced his project, and I really like it. It's awesome.
The whole thing
Wow.
with all the Jesse's going down. Good God, good God. The whole thing. Yeah, that was me. Jesse's dancing down the aisle. Good Lord. Yeah. Yep. This white girl got a little soul. I'm just gonna rub up against Tia a little bit more.
Come on now.
Get a little more soul.
I might write a song and send it to you, Lisa. Keep on. I might be entering this contest.
Come on. You know
Go
what I'm
ahead.
saying?
You do it. Why not?
I mean, we're to our listeners, man. We're giving them a great opportunity. We're going to get them in a place where they can be heard, and we're going to put together an event so people can experience them live. December 3rd. So make sure you can get more information. You download the His Hot Radio app. You can submit your song. We will go over it. We also have a couple of links and websites you can go directly to listen to read the rules and figure out what's going on with this contest. And we're really excited about it. Ain't that right, Sister T?
Oh, yes, super excited. We want to hear from you. Those of you that have some inspirational music that you've been writing. If you know someone that sings in your church, sings in your community, that's always, rapping something positive, tell them to just give it a try. Go and enter. The contest only costs $50 to enter, which is amazing. Invest in yourself. That's nothing to invest in yourself. And what you could be getting on the other side of it is even greater. I mean, we have some amazing prizes. We have some labels and some wisdom that has been in music that want to pour into you. We have first, second, and third place winners. And this is going to launch something that continues and is annual. You want to get on the beginning of this wave. I'm telling you, this is going down. Enter that contest. I'm sharing it with people that I know that sing, that have ministries. I'm sharing it with pastors and community members, telling them, get out there and get the people in your life to enter this contest. You do not want to miss this Giving Tuesday, December 3rd. Keith, you have
Whatever
anything
it takes.
you want to share on the way out this evening? I know we're winding down.
Go ahead. I'll let y'all finish. I'll let her.
How about them Lions, man? What the Lions up to, man? Go now. That's my team now. You gotta give me an update.
We on this football season, Keith Garner.
No, I'm a little hurt right now.
Oh,
Oh,
You're a little hurt.
that ain't good.
Yeah. my team sucked, you know.
No
What's
gain,
up,
no
Keith?
pain,
What are you
right?
saying?
No gain, no
Lisa,
pain.
Lisa didn't hear you. She said, "What are you saying, Keith?"
I was just talking about my little team. I'm a Washington Redskin fan, so we going through some issues. It's been going for a long, long time. I'm tired of being depressed with the Redskins.
Well, I'm kind of proud of my 49ers.
Oh,
Lord.
49ers. Oh,
Whoa.
come
All right,
on
all right, all right.
5-0, 5-0, 5-0.
Oh man, they were a force to be reckoned with back in the 90s, boy, the 49ers.
Tell her to get ready, because the Saints
Hey,
going to take care of
You
that.
know, I remember go 49ers, take it all the way. You can keep you can win the Super Bowl and keep the trophy in the bank.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a 49er fan forever, so.
Come on now, much respect.
All right, we got a little football conversation going on towards the end of the
Yeah,
show.
we do. Why not?
That's right. We usually start with it during the football season, but tonight we got a special guest, Miss Lisa Daggs, with us. If you're just now joining us, go back and watch the replay. We showed this again on our Facebook pages, but we also have a YouTube page. You can download our app. And we also replay this. If you have our app, you'll see this show re-aired on Fridays, and I believe at 2, right, Sam?
Yeah. They'll hear it on the station every Friday at 2 is whatever it takes. If you're out in the gym working out or you're driving in your car, you can't watch it, well, you can listen to it right there on the station, your favorite Christian hip-hop station, His Hot Radio.
Yes, so join us every Wednesday right here, 7 p.m. If you're looking to be a guest on this show, go ahead and hit us up in our DM. I'm going to have some people right here out of Las Vegas joining us live in this studio. If you ever happen to be in Las Vegas or you're planning a trip here, reach out to us ahead of time so that we can schedule you into the flow of our evening. Catch us Mondays at 7. Sam is here live. We're interviewing artists throughout this month leading up to December 3rd. And we hope that you enjoyed tonight's show. Doing whatever it takes 2019 to succeed. Never turning back regardless of what you're up against, Miss Lisa says. We thank you for joining us. We pray that you have a successful rest of the week and that you find whatever it takes that you have to do to be successful. See you next Wednesday.